Look at my tea. I have some white debris sitting in the bottom of my tea glasses. And this is our hot water dispenser. You can see there's lots of debris in the bottom. Mostly that's the scale, the water scale, which is calcium coming from our tap water. And we are using a Brita filter system already. I think this filter is 20 days old now, and it's not able to remove any calcium anymore after 20 days. So I'll try to do a backwash, just like a water softener, which is take out the filter, then I'll put it into a jug. I'll add a saturated salt water, and hopefully that'll exchange the calcium which is saturated inside the beads inside of the Brita filter, and hopefully that can regenerate the capacity to soften the water again. Let's try that. Okay, I found a mason jar here, and it marked on there around 500 ml water capacity. And this is the filter I just took out from my Brita filter holder. So because the goal is I want to reverse wash, so actually I'm going to put it back in like upside down, and hopefully the debris gonna be falling down like from downwards, which probably doesn't even matter, but okay, I changed my mind. This way is easier to come out. I think the other way might be a little hard to come out. Okay, so I already researched the amount of salt can be dissolved in the water. The maximum capacity is 36 grams per 100 ml. I'm not gonna waste that much, but I'll pour maybe 300 ml water into it and see how much is the water level is going to be. And why not use some of those waters? This glass, I measured it before, it was 300 ml when it's full. I mean, milliliter. So, ooh, actually, 300 ml is enough. I think that's enough because we're gonna dissolve or trying to exchange the ions between the sodium, which is from the salt, and we want to release the calcium, which is the scale, which is mostly coming from, and let them exchange. So now 300 mils, I want to get maybe 100 gram of salt. Okay, let me get some salt. Alright, we had 80 grams of salt, and with 300 mils of water, milliliter of water, so the total amount of dissolved is going to be like 25% or even more. I think it's pretty close to the saturation, maybe not to the borderline of 36 grams per 100 ml, but it's pretty salty already, I think. So we're gonna add it into the water, and let's see if that's gonna help us. Oh my god. After a little bit of shaking, you can see we still have a huge amount of salt was not dissolved. I started worrying maybe we put way too much of salt, but if the internet was right, then I should be okay. Well, see, I'll give it more shake and see if everything's gonna dissolve. And the higher the salt concentration, the faster or the easier the ion exchange is going to happen, which is gonna free up our capacity of the filter again. After shaking for another minute, looks like a majority of it has been dissolved, and you can see it's only have a tiny bit left. Don't know if you can still see it, but I gave it a little more shaking, so it should be fully dissolved. And then when you shake it, the particles inside the filter is going to be turned around and having full contact with the salty water, and it's going to exchange the calcium ion, free up the calcium arms, and let it absorb the sodium ions, sorry. And we're gonna clean up the water dispenser, and also we're gonna do a couple of a batch of the free water filtration and see, at least we don't want to have the water taste salty, right? We're gonna clean up and rinse it up, and then we do 2 batches of fresh water. And then if the water is not salty anymore, then we're gonna start to fill up our dispenser again. Let's see if more calcium or scale is gonna build up after that. In the process of shaking it upside down, the water gets pretty dark. I think what I did is I released some of the, what do you call it, the active carbons out. And the reason why I go ups and down is because I want to free up the debris that filter collected during the filtration service. Well, maybe I lost some of the active carbon, but hopefully I get rid of a lot of the calcium as well. Okay, after shaking for 5 minutes, you can see there's no salt sitting in the bottom, but the water gets kind of murky. There's some debris probably released when I was aggressively shaking it. Now, I'm going to put it back into our filter and use it to... Oh, our oven just finished baking some bread. Okay, let's reinstall this guy. And I'll filter a couple of batches. Alright, when we were waiting for the second batch of water going through the filter, I also unplugged my dispenser to wash it over. And you can see it's spotless because I used I dumped the hot water and we add some cold water and plus the white vinegar. It will dissolve anything like the residue that sticks on the wall. And also I use those $1 scraping ball, whatever. Bought it from AliExpress, I think. Use that to clean up the surface, give it a good wipe, and rinse it a couple of times. So that should be a very clean baseline. And after 2 batches of water filtration, we're gonna start to monitoring if there's more scale start to form again after this backwash. If there's no more scale build up, that means, hey, we did a good job and we saved some money too. Because each of the Brita filter, they usually cost like $5. And it just let you guys know, the second batch of the filtered water doesn't taste salty at all. The first batch, I can see when it's filtered, I can see the water has like a little bit of a wave lines inside. It's just like it's been heated water. But this is the second batch, and I just taste it, and there's no salty at all. So I think I'll just, for safety, I'll dump this one. Then from next batch, I'll start to add it into my dispenser and start the test. Now after 2 days, let's take a look at the result. Well, we saw the foam or the frost started falling again, and I think in the bottom there's some debris falling, which is the scale forming up again. And also on the edge, you can see there's some kind of a build-up as well. It's a very fine scale build-up again. I can feel that by rubbing my finger around it. So the result is, it's a failure. It didn't work that way. Maybe I should soak my filter for longer instead of just shake it for 5 minutes. Maybe I should just soak it for 24 hours and see what's the result. But that'll be a different video for that one. Okay, thanks for watching.